Hello, this is Cinders papercraft.co.uk, and this is a very cramped picture. These are quite large. These are the, if I pop that there, this is the double DVD holder that I had been requested to make. I am actually going to use this box, so it has been personalised, and they open at the top. Let's move these out of the way, and they open up. Now in here I have a stamp set, I have a die, a packet of normal dimensionals, minis, and some of the decorations, and that is going out as a present, and I think that looks absolutely gorgeous. Oh, for goodness sake, I'm going to get rid of that thing in a minute. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous, nice and simple to make. So that's, we're going to be doing a double one, but I did think I would show you the masculine versions that I come up with. Now this is a single one, so it's nothing to say, it's a single DVD case holder, and that's the male version. And I also done a satchel, and you can see there that I've given it a leather look, which I think looks so sweet, and there, give it a nice weathered leather look. So that is how it would look if you've done one. If you'd like a tutorial on that, I'm more than happy to do that. And we are going to crack on with our project. Right, so I have my bits here to go. So we have here, we have 3 pieces. Now I'm not going to read them out, so what I am going to do is hold that up like that, so you can get the measurements down. You can pause it or take a screenshot, and that is how you are going to be scoring as well. Okay, you are going to need another piece like that, so that's only 3 score lines, nice and simple. There are the sizes. And you are also going to need a piece like that. Pop it that way, I don't know which way is better. Okay, so those are the sizes you're going to need. Now I have scored and put tape on the ones I'm going to be using, so I am going to show you the cutting on here with the lines. It comes up much better to see. So we have scored this at 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 9 inches, and 9 3/4, and that is on the 10 1/4 side. We are going to rotate it to the 7 3/4, and we are going to score at 3/4 inch, 1 1/2, and 7, and that is what you are left with. Now I'm going to show you where you need to do the cutting. So you're going to cut up to this score line here, and you're going to do the same there. You are going to take those 2 corner bits off, and you are going to take that bit off, so you are left with that tab. Okay, we are going to do the same, so cut up to that line, cut up to there, cut those 2 off, cut that one off, and again got a tab there. Going to turn it, and we are going to take that bit off and that bit. We are going to cut down to that line there, which will leave us with a tab. Going to do the same here. Right, and that is it's going to look like. So now we are going to do the notches. You don't need to do a massive amount of notches because it's only a small tab. It's just enough to stop it from catching up when it meets up with this part. Okay, so we are going to do the same there and there, and we're going to do the same there. Ooh, that was a bit bigger than I expected, and there. Right, so that is what we are now left with, and we can notch here. It's not desperately important, but probably best to, if in doubt, notch. And that is what we are left with. Okay, so I think that's quite easy going. Now we are going to score these. The reason I don't do them before is because I can see the lines better before I score. Score, burnish. Do you know, I always say that. I always get that wrong. Let me move that because that is going to really aggravate me. Right, so I've left this bit here for reinforcement. I like to, when possible, make a box as strong as I can, and this bit here is going to have a lot of in and out, so that is why I've left that there. Right, so you are then left with that. Okay, so here on this one you're going to score at 5.5 and 6 1/4. I'm not going to burnish this because I'm not actually going to be sticking this, but you will then burnish that, and then that will be like that. And then this one you're going to score on the 11-inch side 3/4 of an inch, 6 1/4 and 7 3/4. But again, those measurements I put on the screen earlier, and hopefully you could write them down or take a screenshot or pause it. Right, so there are your pieces, and just like magic, here we are. Right, now let me sort out. Right, so this is going to be your outer case. So this will fold in this way, and I have put double-sided tape along that bottom flap. Okay, I want it to stick together. I really need it to stay. So I personally would use wet glue or double-sided tape. If you have another adhesive that you're more fond of, absolutely great. Right, so this is going to be the outside of the cover. So these bits are going to tuck in and be stuck. So on this this end score line and this beginning one, I've put the double-sided tape. We are going to be sticking these tabs down so they go on that side, and then this is going to fold, and that is going to be glued along with those against there. So we've put that on there. On this side I've put the tape on this top bit because that is going to be stuck there. Okay, and this bit is just plain and simple. So here we go. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take off this double-sided tape and just literally push it down. That will make that a lot firmer, otherwise it can oh, by the way, I'm using thick card, well, not thick cardstock, Whisper White thick, not the layering weight. Right, so we are going to take these static bits off. If you can see, I've got ink all over me. That is from making that leather effect paper. Right, so you're going to line those two up, okay, so it's nice and straight, and then we are going to do the same with this one. Yeah. Sticky static things. Right, and make that one a nice square as well. If you can hear my dogs barking, please excuse them. Someone's obviously dared to breathe a mile away, and 3 Jack Russells think that everything outdoors is their space. Right, so what I should have done really to make life easier is stuck this bit on first and then done the tabs. So to make life easier, do that, because now this is going to be very interesting. So I'm going to sit down. Actually, let me do it that way. So if I hadn't have glued those tabs down, this would have been a lot easier. And I don't know why I've done that. Just put me in front of a camera and my brain turns to mush. Right. There. That's not so bad. Right, so now we have this weird and wonderful looking contraption like that, and I am now going to stick these. It's actually a very easy box to make, and make sure that that is as straight and flush as you can make it. Okay, and pull that bit off again. Yeah. Right, so we are going to get ourselves in a twist by keep turning and turning the box. So I'm going to get that lined up there like that, and that is what looks like a very boring now that actually looks a bit too long. I thought I amended them both. Did I? Yeah, my measurements are right that I gave you. However, I obviously went into preparing this and forgot to trim this up. So this is going to be exciting. So I want that to be, what is that as a matter of interest? Oh, it's going well, isn't it, eh? So that is going to be 3 and a bit. If you use the measurements, you are absolutely fine. Those measurements, that doesn't look right either. Oh boy. Right, let's line that up there. Ignore that little cut there. Oops. That's an oops moment. I will cover that up with paper on both sides to really strengthen that. So, oops. Now, I could go back to refilming this, but I think it's kind of refreshing for you to see that we all do incredibly stupid things, and I do them on a regular basis. But there you go. Right, so now we are going to join these. Now, the first one I'd done, I put magnets on them so that I could separate them, and then I thought, well, if you're only giving one away, then you don't need that flap, so I gave that up as a bad idea. I didn't need to put too many complicated things in. So what you're going to do is have both of these with the flaps at the top, okay? And we are going to put a generous amount of liquid glue. Please do use liquid glue, because the chances are you are going to need some time. Although I have seen people with double-sided tape that could do things with their eyes closed and line up perfectly. So whatever you're comfortable with. Right, so I'm going to stand that up and I'm going to line that up there and make sure both of them are level. Okay. Just making sure they're both facing the right way after my start. Right. So there we are. Now I think that is actually going to annoy me to the point of, no, I'm going to put some paper on both sides. It won't show. Just stop obsessing. Right, so I have my magnets, or shall I pop that one on the bottom and we can decorate it? Yeah, right, so we have our piece of paper card and we have this bit at the bottom with some sticky tape on. I've been brave and put tape on here and not glue. We'll find out if that was a good call or not. Right, so this is only going to go over one of them, okay? And I am going to pop that down and I'm going to fold that back like so, so that it isn't going to stick the minute I get near it. And I am going to gently fold that until I'm happy with it and then push down firmly. Okay, and now we see if my measurements were correct. Oh, it's a bit tight. That needs to be. You see, what I actually try not to do is work in 1/16ths, and not because I just don't know that a lot of people have. Oh, sorry. A lot of if you don't have a trimmer that shows you 1/16ths, it can be very, very difficult to find out what a 1/16th is. If you have, you can always do that a bit bigger, that line there. But if you keep on just lining up and doing that, it will fold over. And I do have to say, this card I've put on is very, very rigid. I done the outer cover not in thick whisper white. I done it in just a plain thick white card, and that's why it's not automatically folding over, whereas a lower weight one would. So there we are. Now we are going to do some decorating and put the magnets on. Now we've got to 18 minutes, so that's okay. That is the basics of the box. If you are happy and you understand how to do that and you wish to crack on and go finish your day. No, that's that one. I tell you what, I'm having moments, me. Right, so I need to get some paper for that I haven't measured. Luckily, this is, where did I put that bag? This is beautiful paper. Where is the label? There. Right, so I keep my 12 by 12 paper in album covers. They come in a pack of 50 and they're probably about £9–10, and they're really, really thick. So that's where I keep my 12 by 12 paper. That's the Year of Cheer specialty paper, and I didn't know which way to go, whether to do that one or to do that one. Didn't know which way to go on that one, or even that one. Where is my piece of paper gone? Right, well, let me carry on anyway, because no doubt it will show up from the black hole that it's just disappeared into. It's amazing. Ah, there it is. It's amazing how many black holes I have in my craft room. So very quickly, because that is annoying the life out of me, that is going to be 2.5. Give it a little bit. No. No. So let me just do that. So 2.5. Give a little bit. Okay. Right, so this is probably the realistic side of YouTube crafting. It's the side you don't get to see because a lot of people cut it out, and not because they don't want to look like the rest of us, they do, but they probably think you don't need to see the mistakes. I, on the other hand, would rather make a mistake and then show you how to get out of it should it ever happen to you. So that is going to be 7 5/8. 7 5/8. 7 5/8. There we go. Right. And I always leave my loose bits in there. Oop, landslide. Right, so that will go on there, and then I will do a second piece, but I don't need to hold up filming to go on the inside of both of those. But you don't need to watch that, do you? No, we don't like these DVDs going on long. Well, I don't mind them, but others do. Right, so I'm going to put on, now if I had done hadn't made this boo-boo, this bit, I wouldn't normally be putting paper on that side, so I would therefore put the magnet on there. But because I did make the boo-boo and I will be covering it up with paper, I'm going to put it on there. And I will get my glue dots. My magnets I get off Amazon, and if you type in N35, so that's N for Noddy, 35, and you type in 50, there's a company that I used to use which are called Toogoo, which is TOOGOO, and the other one is Sodial, which is SODIAL. But one of them has recently put up their prices. It's only £1.70 something, but I like the fact that that the other place is still £1.60 for 50. Right, so I've put a glue dot, I've put another magnet on there, put a glue dot on. I'm going to fold that over and press that down. Now it is better, like you've seen me do, to put in a block so that you can push up against it. Now we are going to add that paper. This really is gorgeous paper, it's lovely and thick. I wouldn't be comfortable just using this as a main part of the box or case. Oops, sorry. This morning isn't a good day for my hands shaking. But I have such lovely subscribers that none of them ever moan at me. I'm very lucky. Right, so you now have the two cases. See, that one was longer. Oh, it's going to aggravate me. No, I'll sort that out. I will trim this one down. So I wonder... No, ignore it. Just ignore it. Right. We are going to put that on there. But let me just make sure I've got one for the outside first. Which I have. So I'm going to stick that one on first. Oops, sorry. Getting too close. Put a good amount of glue on. I just thought this could actually be male or female. Gold and silver snowflakes. Could be any of them. Right. Now we are going to pop. I'm actually probably, because this one is a little tighter, I'm going to probably pop on three magnets, two magnets, three. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, let me carry on. You see, this is what usually happens. I start off a project, and then after I'm halfway through designing a project, I'm then on to thinking about the next one, doing it in a smaller size, a bigger size, a more masculine size, a different version. So rather than put out 4 or 5 different videos that people are going to maybe think, oh, it's the same old thing, I would rather show people what I can do, and then they can say yes or no if they want me to do them. So if you want that satchel, or to know how to do that leather look, because the satchel is pretty much the same as this, give or take a few changes. Ooh. Right, so we are going to put those, I think we're going to put them on the front, because I shall do some of the internal paper away from the video, and you'll be able to see that in the pictures. Right, so normally there is no way you would put on this many magnets on the front. It's because this is really thick card, and I haven't allowed for that. This won't happen in any other card. So you could get away definitely with one, and I believe that's what the others are, all one of them. Right, so you can of course use your what are they called? Oh, for goodness sake, the Velcro dots. Oh, that seemed a bit more difficult than it needed to be. Right, so on these ones you're going to get your pokey tool and just pop a glue dot on each one of those, because I've laid the other one down. Right, so you are now going to fold that over and make sure it is exactly where you want it, and then push down, and I will then cover those up. Okay, but for now they're okay. And now I shall go back to this that is probably dried, pop more on there. Do you see what I done? Yep, you did. I was going to put them on the outside. Thank goodness me. Oh dear. Honestly. Oop, that doesn't need to be standing up. The funny thing is when I'm in my room crafting, I very, very rarely make a mistake. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. They're not mistakes, they're opportunity to change the design. I think that's what we'll go with. And also remember that when you're actually doing this, it's all going to be, every time you put on paper, it's going to be building in strength, which is absolutely ideal, but it will mean that it will also be building in that you will probably need to reinforce these bends by just wearing them in. Right, and then the side ones. And I will make sure I go on later and cut that one down. Excuse me. Right, so there. And now I will trim that bit down, which is, that will be 7 3/8, I think I said it was. No, 7 7 5/8 by 3 1/8. Do that. 7 5/8. It's a good job, my subscribers. Don't mind me making these mistakes. I will be able to find out a way to edit all these out, but then I wonder if when you make it and you make boo-boos, whether you think you'll not doing as well as everyone else when you are. I should have trimmed that one a bit further when I was taking the score lines out. Right, so if you use my measurements, they are right. It's just me in the preparation didn't get them done properly. Right, so there is our lovely double DVD. Now I will just get my little hole punch, because normally these would all be covered under paper. I don't usually leave them showing if I can help it. So let me find a piece that I'm probably not going to be able to use, like that one, and just cut out a bit for there. And that one's in a gold one, and that is roughly about there. It doesn't matter. People really probably won't notice them, and if they do, as I've said before, take it off them and take it home. Give it to someone who will appreciate it. Right, so now we can easily put in on our, take that down a bit further. We can put on our tags and with to and from and our labels. Now on here, what I chose to do was use this as a sentiment, where I would put, let me show you in this one very briefly. So you pop a sentiment on the front, and that's where I did put, oh sorry, the sentiment. You can use that as anything. You don't have to use it for anything at all, but I just think that's a nice space to pop a message in. So there we are. That didn't take too long. There were some boo-boos on the way, but they will be covered. And I will make sure I glue that bit down properly off camera. So yeah, what do you think? This really is thick card. It's a 400 gram card, so it's really tough. That's why it isn't folding over without the reinforcement of thumbs. Right, now I suppose I should decide. Now I get my corner protectors off eBay, and I don't know if I will put any on here, but let's just see what they look like. I think they're too big. I could maybe. What do we think? Well, I think what I'll do is I will leave them off for now and maybe put them on for the pictures, because I probably will put a corner protector on. I think it just actually dresses it up a bit. Right, well, so we are done. That is today's version. That is the other version, which I will be giving out shortly, because I do try to use up my boxes, because otherwise I would be surrounded by them. And I think this is a lovely male version. It's not girly, mind you, it could be easily girly. And these come out of the stocking die set. Christmas stocking, trim your stockings, can't remember, but that's where that's from. And let me know if you want to know how to make that. Right, so I will be updating my blog today. I've got a couple of projects to put in. The week didn't go as I planned, so I will be doing that later. So let me know what you think, and I will say goodbye for now, and thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. And please, if you have any questions, let me know in the messages or comments below. And I would also like to say a huge thank you to my subscribers that do leave comments. I have got some beautiful subscribers, and I appreciate every single one of you. Okay, right, I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.